Hi people, Newbie back again, number 37. And yes, I'm back at the desk. I wanted to get out a video today. It's Labor Day. It's a holiday, you know, so I didn't want to spend a lot of time down here today, but I did want to try to get out a video because I know a lot of you people watch on holidays, on weekends and stuff like that. So I wanted to try to do my best to get a video out today. Speaking of videos, and that last couple, 36 and 36.5 videos, a lot of good comments on that, and I had a lot of you people really stepped up. You gave me ideas of things to try and things to look at, and you know, the bottom line was I was getting a lot of those comments after I had solved the problem. And so I really appreciate the extent that a lot of you went to comment on last week's video. And yeah, and I, you know, some of you said, hey, that was really good to know, because I had one comment that said he hadn't done a consist yet, but he could see him having that same problem. And yeah, and that's what it's all about, I guess, is I want to share with you what I'm doing, and as much as anything else, what I'm learning. And I hope you're liking it too. And by the way, thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing by hitting that little button. Wait. You know, why can I never do that? Why can I never just point down there? I don't know. Yeah, anyway. So subscribe if you haven't, please. I really appreciate that. So today, not really a lot different. I've been working, you know, in that horse farm area on the far east end of the layout, and I finally got all the foam in, finalized basically the rough grade in that area. So here, watch the video. Okay, update on the far east end of the layout. All of this this foam is all secured down. Of course, I've got a lot of work to do in here yet to finalize the design, but you get the idea of what the terrain is going to look like. And starting back over here, you see the cemetery is now on the same level as the church. The plan will be that we'll have a road that will basically come from the back off the layout here, coming down this way. It'll be coming downhill here, coming in front of the church. There'll be an entrance here with parking area in here. Of course, that gap will be filled, of course. And the road will then come downhill here, and it'll come across in front of the farm here, and downhill again to reach this level right in here. And it'll come across. The driveway, of course, will come into the road here. I'm thinking I might have a little gravel parking area right in this area here with some cars parked for the pond area. The road will come this direction, and I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with it here. It will either come downhill and basically come off the layout here, or I may just leave it at this level and have it come straight off the layout here. I don't know yet. I haven't decided that. But all of this foam is in place. Of course, if I have it come out, I'll have to build more foam up here, but no big deal. All this foam is now secured in place, and so now I can start putting in roads and you know, cutting for the roads and the terrain and all that. I haven't exactly decided what in this area right here as to whether this is going to slope or whether it's going to be a cut like this. I don't know yet. I left it kind of ragged, if you will. The back of my mind right now, I'm thinking that wherever the road is, I might start sloping from the road down to the farm level here. I don't know yet, but that's to be determined. But I'm thinking this is going to look pretty nice. I'm liking this. now. When the horse farm was around the back, I really wasn't real pleased with that, but I'm liking this a lot. So as I interrupted you right there, you were watching that video and I was about to show you something, and really what was going on was not only did I work in that horse farm area, but I also finished up the foam installation just south of the yard there, and on the grade on the hillside there. There's going to be a lot of additional work in terms of what actually that is going to look like in that hillside, and I'm thinking about leaving the very top of that foam that's on the hillside exposed. And by exposed, I mean just not putting any of that plaster cloth over it. And my thoughts being that I'm thinking about putting trees in there. And it'd be a lot easier to put trees in, I think, if it's just bare foam instead of fiber or plaster cloth, if you know what I mean. But anyway, so here's the rest of what I was doing in terms of the grades and finishing up that foam stuff. Okay, I've also got this foam secured in place. All of this. And the back wall here, that's all secured in place. Now, of course, there's going to be that, I'm going to use that fiber cloth or plaster cloth like this to cover all of this. So I'm thinking that everything will go away from basically right in here, and it'll all slope down, and then the plaster cloth will cover all that area there, with the exception of the outlet, of course. So these are in place. Of course, I'll do some molding and shaping in this area here when I get around to putting in the fiber cloth. I said before, and I still haven't decided, but I'm rethinking this idea that I was going to have this little drive come across the tracks here and up to these industrial buildings. I'm considering now having the road go this way. Instead of coming that one, just have this come around and basically dead end here at the yard house. And to get road over to here, I'm thinking I may come down here and cross the tracks. One of the things I wanted, I'm going to have this Railway Express building is going to be somewhere in this area here. Wherever this siding comes in, I'm going to have the Railway Express building there, and I wanted to have trucks, you know, maybe a little parking area or something on one side of it. So I need roadway in here somewhere too, so I'm thinking maybe I'll use this roadway to come downhill here and maybe have an at-grade crossing right in here, and then that would also serve to have truck and vehicle traffic to the Railway Express building and also the engine house area. I'm not sure exactly how that's all going to work. You see, let me move the camera just a little bit here. I don't know exactly how it would come out of there. So maybe I'll have an at-grade crossing here to serve this area, and then maybe another at-grade crossing here that comes across, maybe come up and meet with this road here somewhere. I don't know, maybe come this way, have this road come downhill, and have the two roads come together here and go off the layout basically in this direction, because the bottom line is that they're going to join up with the road that comes from that area up there. So now with the camera move, I'll show you a little better what I was talking about. That road will go off the layout there at the other end of the yard, and I'm this area here, you see that that's the spot where that casket company used to be, and now I've moved this teardown scene over here. And what I'm thinking of doing, you know, I never really had finalized exactly what this road would do from here. And what I'm thinking now is I might just take all of this out. Just have this road maybe come down here, or maybe just come right off the end, off the layout in this area right here, instead of continuing on. And then that would open up some space in here for you know, trees and shrubs and scenery. I don't know, but this I'm not liking this right now, so I'm thinking that that this whole section may go away, that the road may come down and just come off the layout here or something. I don't know, but that's going to change some, I think. So that's where we are today, and I'm not really sure where I'm going to go from here. I'm thinking I'll probably start doing plaster cloth in that east end area and finish all that out, which, by the way, means I'm not going to be able to run trains, because to do that I have to cover the track. I have to pull out that blue tape again and tape the track so I don't get that plaster mess all over the track. And but once I get that, I get out, I'll take the hot knife and get that grading and, you know, the sculpturing of what I want those final terrain to look like. And once I get that done, then I can start throwing that plaster cloth down on everything, and after that we'll rip up the tapes, clear the tracks, clean the track again, and hopefully run some trains. Maybe not the next video, but probably the one after that. I don't know, but I'm getting anxious to get trains running again, especially since I've got more engines operable now. And by the way, that little BN and SF, I think it's a dash 8 40 CW, I think. Anyway, the one that I had been running for a long time, you know, the one that had the ditch lights on it, and it had quit, and it was one that did not work after I removed those the consist from it. Well, I spent some time working on that engine, because I think I can make that engine run, and I'm about there. I've got it to where it runs now. It's a little jerky, and I think that's because I probably need to do some adjustment on the gears. And one of the problems I had with it, it had a short in it somewhere, dead short, and so, you know, I put a meter on it, and sure enough, it was dead shorted between the two halves of the chassis. And so what I ended up doing was just getting out the Kapton tape and taping between the chassis frames just about the whole thing, until I finally got it to where that short didn't exist. Somewhere or another, I think the two halves of the chassis were making contact with each other, and I never found exactly where, but I just started putting Kapton tape on everything between the two chassis halves, and I finally got it to work. So it's working now, and I think it's a little jerky, and I think the jerkiness is because I was trying to just barely tighten the two halves together, and so I think I need to put a little more torque on those screws that are holding those two halves together, because I think what's happening is that the gearing is not meshing real well in between the two halves of the chassis. So that's that's good news. So I got that BNSF running again. I right now, by the way, if anybody knows a good source of engine maintenance, and by that I mean I want to find somebody that can fix these engines for me. I've only got let's see, 3, 4. I've only got about 3 or 4 that still don't work. You know, I got those 2 that came from the purchase layout that never have worked, and I don't know what the problem is with them. Like I say, I check the motors work, but nothing else does. And like for example, that one F unit is it's an Atlas unit, but it has a hobby shop installed the decoder on it. It's not a factory decoder, so Atlas won't look at it. And the other one is a Kato, and it's a I think it might have been a Dash 8 as well, but anyway, and it doesn't work. It never has worked. I don't know what the problem is with it, but anyway, so I'd like to find a source that I can send those engines to see if I can get them repaired. So if anybody knows of anybody, give me a comment or send me an email at let me think now, my email address, and I'll put it down here too, but it's Newbie Mountain Railroad at gmail.com. So appreciate your help there, and you know, I don't mind paying somebody to fix them, but I'd really like to get those fixed. And like I say, the hobby shops around here, first of all, I found one that would work on DCC engines if they installed the decoder. Otherwise, none of the hobby shops in this area will work on any engines, and I find that kind of strange. You would think that, well, I maybe not, because you know, I guess it takes some expertise that maybe the hobby shops don't have. I don't know, but anyway, so if somebody's got some advice or some I'd appreciate the assistance. So, but anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we're going to see what's going to happen.